You're listening to Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick in association with Wexford Insurances. Challenge us at Wexford Insurances 0818 31 30 30.
My final guest this morning is Susan Kelly, owner of a new business in Enniscorthy, Bella Hen Eggs. Susan, tell me a bit about your own background, please.
I'm a Sligo woman originally, and I met my husband about 10 years ago and moved to Wexford. I was working at the time when I met him, doing the kind of the road and the marketing and sales and that. Then I went to a drinks company and I was brand ambassador for Bacardi, Jack Daniels. So my history is in sales and marketing. Around this time last year, I took redundancy from Bachelors. I was their business developer with the food service industry. So a lot of experience in kind of food and hospitality and that. So that's my general background.
So after taking the redundancy, what was the plan at that stage?
I have two young kids, Isabella and Henry, and they are 7 and 4. I decided I was going to hang out for the summer with them and chill out and see what I was going to do, because I didn't want to go back on the road 5 days a week and leave them again. It was an awful lot of pressure, like a lot of mums have, and I decided let's just have a break and just see what happens and see where it goes. So
where did the idea for Bella Hen Eggs come from?
Well, we had about 10 hens down in a coop right beside our house, and my kids loved going down every morning, picking up the eggs and coming up and having them for the breakfast, and they just loved it. And I loved teaching them about food and where it came from and the natural goodness of it, and also kind of we thought maybe we'll turn it into a little business, maybe for pocket money for them. We'd go to the neighbours and see if they got €1 for them or whatever, to teach them about money and where it came from, that you actually have to work for money, it's not handed to you. But the main thing was to teach them about food, and we're also health conscious right now, and the benefits of having your own food in your back garden, literally. So
it started off as a hobby. How did it develop into a business then?
I had people asking me about my eggs, could have a few here and there, and I thought, no problem at all. And then there was more people and there was more people. So I decided literally overnight to say, okay, maybe there's something in this, and let's ask them, would they pay for them? Bit of a neck, all right, to do that, but they said no problem, we'd love to buy them from you. So I thought, okay, let's do that. Let's have a look around and see what we can do to be able to do that. So I started then asking more people again, and it kind of snowballed from there. You went to the enterprise board at that stage then, I think. How supportive were they? Oh, they were great. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to kind of get my head around actually starting a business unless I went to actually get that help. I rang them and I asked them what courses were available. I started in September the Start Your Own Business course, which was fantastic. My big challenge was how to do a business plan. And I knew that that's what I needed to do to see was the business viable, if I needed to get a loan from anybody, from the bank. The financial side of things, I really needed help with that. I kind of knew how to do the sales and marketing end, but the kind of finances were the big hurdle for me. So I did that and I found that absolutely fantastic. And I actually was able to sit down and do the business plan myself, whereas I never thought I would be able to do that. Did you have a different perspective on business coming out of the course than what you had going into it? I did. It was kind of a scary thing. We got lots of help and support. I kind of had a plan then that I knew, okay, by X, Y and Z, this is what I needed to have done. I needed to kind of get my promotional kind of material together. And actually, I had a structure behind me, whereas before I just kind of was willy-nilly doing it. I knew exactly where I needed to go with it then after that, after finishing the business plan. Once you had finished the plan and the course itself, what was the next step? Well, in the meantime, I had contacted the Department of Agriculture. Not a lot of people do that first off because they're a bit scared of having to deal and comply. But I said that's the only way I wanted to do it, was do it right from the start. Was there any grants available in relation to the kit out of any of the facilities that you required? Unfortunately, I missed out. We have a cage ban at the moment where a lot of the cage producers were given money to upgrade their systems. Now, as it happens, an awful lot of them didn't do it and went out of business, which is great now because there's massive demand for eggs. But no, I didn't get any help. I financed it all myself. I have actually a business plan gone into Wexford Local Development now. I'm hoping to get some assistance from them. I did get a bit of a little grant actually from the Social Welfare Department for my branding, and that was because I was claiming my stamp while I was trying to get all this actually up and running. So really a lot of it's kind of gone in into my own pocket, which has been it's been quite expensive. And along the way you kind of can't stop. You say, okay, we've got over this hurdle. we have to keep going and we have to keep going. I had to buy an egg grater, which I didn't expect to have to buy. And I mean, it's been hard work, and it's been a lot of money, but you know, it's a long-term plan and a long-term goal. So I don't expect it to happen overnight. This is the kind of a 10-year plan. So hopefully, you know, we're getting there. So
there was really two parts to you getting ready for developing the business. That was firstly in relation to equipment, and secondly then in relation to procedures like HACCP and that. Tell us more about HACCP. What does that mean?
Oh, HACCP, I didn't even know what the word meant, to be honest. I did a food safety course last year with a company in Wexford, and they were about the food handling, and, you know, that was all about hygiene. But to do a HACCP plan, you have to have procedures in place to... It's basically about having hazard analysis done, seeing where your hazards are, whether it's salmonella, infection to the birds. There's a million hazards you can have for any kind of a food safety plan. So you identify them, and then you put procedures in place to avoid those hazards coming into your business. And then you have to comply with that as your business is going along. So that was kind of hard to get around, because I wouldn't have been very efficient with the knowledge of bacteria or any of that kind of stuff. So I found the company I worked with really, really good. It did cost me, but you have to have it done. And it just gives you a knowledge of exactly how to run your business safely and infection-free. And we salmonella test now every 15 weeks, and we test our water. So when you're dealing with the public, you have to have food safety as your primary goal.
The fact that you didn't come from a farming background, it must have been a very steep learning curve for you.
It was, and anyone that knows me would laugh now if they knew Susan Kelly was doing free-range eggs, because they know me from going around in a suit in my company car, having hair and makeup done, and being a professional out there, a salesperson. But I found when I took my redundancy, I loved being down in the field, mucking around in my wellies, and I just loved it, and I liked the pace of it. I really enjoy it, and it's something that my kids are into. I find that it's a world away from what I was doing, but I really enjoy it, and I think that's imperative in any business, that if you don't enjoy what you do, you know, you're not going to love what you do. And my kids even now love it, and my 4-year-old son Henry keeps saying I'm the boss of Bella Hen Eggs, and he loves coming out and helping out with it and that. But again, I wouldn't have I have no background at all, but my grandparents would have had a bit of a farm. But you're learning all the time, and I think, like a lot of us, we've gone to retrain and redo things that we wouldn't have normally thought we'd have done. But the recession and everything, that's what people are doing. They're turning their hand to different things, and, you know, why not?
Apart from, let's say, putting the structure in the business, from doing the Start Your Own Business course and then going on to comply with the Department of Agriculture, what else did you need to do in order to be in a position to be able to sell the eggs?
Anyone can sell hen eggs, but you can't sell to a shop. You have to have a certain code. If you want to sell to a farmer's market, you have to have a code. That's for traceability. But if you want to sell to a retail shop, you have to have your production unit, but you also have to have a packing centre. They're two separate licenses, if you like. So I had to build a packing centre onto my production unit, and that had to be tiled. It has to have all the kind of, you have to have hot water there and infection control, and that's a lot of hard work and a lot of money to put into that. But we've done it now, and we have a HACCP plan in place, and the department are happy with us. So my codes should be ready in about 2 weeks' time, and then I will be approaching certain shops.
Susan, I know that the Wexford Food Producers Network was set up back in January of this year. Tell me a bit about that, because I know you're involved with it.
For someone like me, it's fantastic, because we have loads of Wexford companies that are well established. All food companies, obviously, Wexford producers. Basically, it's a group of us that get together, and we are having a brand that would be Taste of Wexford on all our packaging. So whether you're eggs or bacon or jam or fish or whatever it is, we will all have the Taste of Wexford brand on our product, and everybody loves to support local and to buy local. So that's what we're finding. That is going to be rolled out now shortly.
Let's go back to your own business from a marketing perspective. What have you in line for your own marketing activity over the next 12 months with a view to developing the business?
Well, I've concentrated an awful lot on my branding. I would have a lot of experience in branding, and I have a very Wexford brand, and that's what I want to hopefully develop and get Bella Hen Eggs as a Wexford brand. And someone said to me yesterday, when I met them, they said, "Oh, you're Bella Hen Eggs. We've bought your eggs in such and such a place." I'm going to continue rolling out the branding. I would hope to develop the range eventually. I want to concentrate on building the egg business at the moment. Facebook is fantastic. Twitter. I go to any kind of networking events that are on with the Enterprise Board and getting the name out there. We're just starting out, so it's very, very important to get your name out there and for people to know the background and the history history behind the product. They love the fact that it's a family business and that my kids, it's named after them, Isabella and Henry, it's Bella Hen Eggs. And they love that, and they love the name, and they love the whole ethos behind the business, its freshness. And, hopefully in the future we'll be in maybe some supermarkets, some retail lines, and maybe develop the business into other products as well.
Well, Susan, it's certainly a very encouraging story, and I wish you continued success with growing the business.
You're listening to Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick in association with Wexford Insurances. Think Wexford Insurances for your business insurance.